Hello everyone, and welcome back to Behind the Bulletin. Thank you for joining us. Because today's story is one that has shaken the entire entertainment world from top to bottom. For weeks, the internet has been spinning with wild theories. Whispers turning into waves. And waves crashing into a full-blown storm of speculation. And now, at last, the silence has been shattered. Yulong and Mei Mei break their silence. The explosive truth behind the secret child rumors. A rumor that started as a late-night whisper suddenly snowballed into one of the most shocking scandals of the year. Screenshots, blurry photos, anonymous claims. Supposed insiders. Feeding into a narrative that left fans stunned and desperate for answers. Why did the rumors spread so fast? Where did they really come from? And what forced Yulong and Mei Mei to finally step forward now? Stay with us. Because what we're about to uncover will shock you, surprise you, and reveal a truth far more dramatic than anyone expected. Let's dive in right now. It started with a whisper, light, almost fragile, posted anonymously on a late-night forum known for its wild gossip. A single sentence, written as if casually dropped into the void. Yulong and Mei Mei's child is finally old enough to walk. Those 10 words cracked open a storm that would soon engulf the entire entertainment industry. At first, readers laughed. Another delusional rumor. Another anonymous claim without evidence. But then a blurry image appeared beneath the post, grainy, dim, taken from afar, showing a woman with a small child at what looked like a private villa. The caption. Closely. The man behind her is Yulong. And suddenly, everything exploded. Comments poured in like a tidal wave. That's definitely his silhouette. Is this why they disappeared for months? Mei Mei wore that same jacket once. This child, the timing fits too perfectly. Online detectives sharpened their claws. Someone enhanced the shadows. Someone else drew outlines around the figures. Every tiny detail became evidence. A single mole on the woman's neck was compared to Mei Mei's past red carpet photos. Within 1 hour, the rumor was unavoidable. By the next morning, it had grown teeth and began tearing across the internet. Major platforms flooded with theories. Hashtags climbed the charts. Yulong child rumor. Mei Mei's secret life. The hidden family. Every clip, every old interview, every smile exchanged between the two on past variety shows, suddenly became a clue that the world had supposedly missed. Then came the so-called insider. An account claiming to be a staff member who once worked with Mei Mei posted. They've been protecting the child for years. Everyone at the studio knew. We just couldn't say it. That post alone gathered over 3 million views. Suddenly the silence of both celebrities became its own monster. Every hour without explanation felt like confirmation. People demanded answers. Apologies, statements. Reporters stalked airport gates and film sets. Managers received hundreds of calls. Both fandoms erupted into chaos, some angry, some confused, some heartbroken, and some, strangely hopeful. Then a short video surfaced. A man pushing a stroller, wearing a mask and cap, walking quickly toward a car. The uploader swore it was Yulong. They slowed the footage down, zoomed into the jawline, sharpened the frame. It's him. It has to be him. That walk is unmistakable. Frenzy hit its peak. Articles published speculative timelines. Influencers live-streamed analysis breakdowns. Industry commentators suggested that the reveal would shake the entire structure of Asian entertainment. But beneath the noise and hysteria, neither Yulong nor Mei Mei said a single word. Their silence was interpreted as guilt. Their absence became proof. And the rumor hardened into something that felt like truth, even though it wasn't. By the third day, the world was demanding a confession. What nobody knew was that both stars were on a private set, filming a new project, completely unaware that the outside world was burning their names into every screen. And then, during a brief lunch break, Mei Mei finally saw the headlines. Her hands trembled. Breath caught in her throat. Across the set, Yulong's phone buzzed with a frantic message from his manager. You need to see this. Immediately. He opened the link. His face drained of color. They met in a quiet hallway behind the studio. Between them hung an air thick with disbelief, confusion, and something close to fear. How did this even start? Mei Mei whispered. Yulong shook his head slowly. We say nothing until we understand everything. But as they would soon discover, the rumor was no longer something they could control. The storm was only beginning. That night, as the rumor continued snowballing into global chaos, a new twist detonated online. A well-known gossip channel posted what it claimed to be undeniable proof. A birth certificate. Showed a child's name. A mother's name partially blurred. Most damning of all, a father's name beginning with Y. Long. The internet exploded. Screamed in the comments. This is the confirmation. I knew it. This is why they avoided each other last year. Celebrities privately messaged one another. Action companies braced for impact. Brands anxiously reviewed their contracts. The pressure reached its breaking point. And finally, after days of silence, Long and Mei Mei decided to speak. Their joint statement was released at 9:14 p.m. And within 2 minutes, every server hosting it slowed under the weight of traffic. But instead of denial, instead of anger, of frantic explanations, their statement read like something the world wasn't prepared for. Hey, we want to share the truth, not just turn a rumor, but to explain what truly happened behind the scenes of this misunderstanding. The world held its breath. Truth, as they revealed it, was far more shocking and twisted than any rumor. Months earlier, both stars had secretly participated in a charity project for abandoned children. The photos taken that day, Long holding a toddler, Mei comforting a crying infant, had never been released to the public. Until now. Those pictures had been leaked, cropped, blurred, and misinterpreted into the secret child scandal that the world had spent days dissecting. The supposed birth certificate? Document created using real charity data stolen from the organization's database. The stroller video? Completely unrelated father. The villa woman? A staff member from the charity foundation. Every piece of evidence had been twisted into a narrative that never existed. Long's final line in the statement burned across the internet like wildfire. If we ever become parents one day, we'll share it with pride, not fear. Mei Mei added. But as of today, the only thing we want to protect is the truth. Silence fell over the internet, not the chaotic kind, but the heavy kind that comes right after thunder. Then came the backlash. People demanded the identity of the leaker. The charity foundation launched an internal investigation. Cybersecurity experts traced the birth certificate to an anonymous account linked to a data broker. Public shifted from suspicion to shock to sympathy to rage on behalf of the two stars. By midnight, apologies flooded social media. Fans trended hashtags calling for justice. Industry figures praised Long and Mei Mei for handling the crisis with honesty and strength. And in the middle of all this, two stars finally appeared together, live. Their expressions were calm. Their eyes steady. Voices soft but powerful. We cannot control rumors, Long said. Can control how we face them. Mei Mei nodded beside him. And we choose truth. Millions watched the broadcast in silence. Crying, some apologizing. Some simply relieved. The end, the rumor that almost destroyed their reputations, became the moment that revealed their character. Lovers. Not secret parents. But to individuals brave enough to speak. When the world was loudest. In the end, what began as a spark of rumor, small, careless, and anonymous, had erupted into a wildfire that swept across the entire entertainment world. For days, the truth was buried beneath noise, assumptions, forged documents, and blurry photos. Long and Mei Mei finally stepped forward. Voices cut through the chaos like a blade. They didn't defend themselves with anger. They didn't hide behind excuses. They chose honesty, quiet, powerful, undeniable. And that truth changed everything. Fans who once panicked now rallied behind them. People who suspected now apologized. Industry that watched in shock now praised their courage. Rumor lost its power, collapsing in the face of the very thing it feared most, clarity. The misunderstanding that could have destroyed reputations instead revealed something rare. The integrity of two artists who stood tall even when the world shouted over them. And perhaps that is the real lesson hidden inside this storm. Sometimes, the most explosive scandals aren't about lies, but about how courage turns those lies into dust. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey, for seeking truth with us, for staying until the final reveal, and for supporting the artists who give us stories, music, and moments that shape our lives. This has been Behind the Bulletin, and we promise to continue bringing you the stories that matter, stories that surprise, unravel, and reveal. Until next time, stay curious, stay thoughtful, and thank you for watching.